This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. Today's news is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New service and repair. Call Gunny's 775-727-6800.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It is Thursday, February 23rd.
Well, the cause of a shooting on Tuesday night has been revealed by both the suspect and one of the victims. The Nye County Sheriff's Office has issued a declaration of arrest concerning the shooting death that occurred on Tuesday night here in Pahrump on Basin Avenue. Arrested is Moses Hoodie, who is 26 years old. According to the report from the Nye County Sheriff's Office, on February 21st at approximately 7:10 in the evening, Nye County Sheriff's Office dispatched received a call for a shots fired report in the area of the 2000 block of Basin Avenue here in Pahrump. Deputies responded and said that they could hear shots as they neared the area. They located a male identified as 41-year-old Shallon Bent. That individual stated that he and his father had been shot by the same suspect who was inside the home. That individual was transported by ground ambulance to Desert View Hospital with a gunshot wound to the leg. Shallon was interviewed at the hospital and said that the suspect, later identified as Moses Hoodie, had been suicidal and was holding a shotgun inside the residence. Shallon's 69-year-old father was found deceased inside the home. He was identified as Kenneth Bent. Shallon told police at the hospital that he and his father had tried to take the shotgun from Hoodie to prevent Hoodie from killing himself, at which time Hoodie opened fire on them, shooting Kenneth Bent, and Hoodie then dropped the shotgun and picked up an AR-style rifle and began shooting at Shallon, hitting the victim in the leg. Shallon said that he was able to get out of the residence and then crawl down the street, while Hoodie continued to fire a gun inside the home. Police say at that time they arrived at the residence and Hoodie had a brief standoff with police until he surrendered to the Nye County Sheriff's Office SWAT team and detectives. He was then transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office station. Police say that they interviewed Hoodie at that time, and he stated that he knows both victims from the past. He had been in a fight with an individual, so he came to Pahrump to spend some time with the two individuals who were father and son. Hoodie had been staying with the two at the residence since Saturday, February 18th, and intended to stay for about a week. He stated that both the individuals carried firearms with them in the house and had the firearms at the ready during his stay. Hoodie stated that he had been suicidal at the time of the shooting and had been holding a shotgun in his hand, pointed downward. The two victims approached Hoodie to stop him from killing himself, at which time he opened fire on them. Kenny Bent was immediately hit and went down. Hoodie then dropped the shotgun and picked up the AR-style rifle and began firing at Shallon Bent. Hoodie did not know that he had hit Shallon, but heard Shallon yell at him from outside the home that he had been shot. He said that he opened the door and looked outside for him, but did not see him, so he closed the door. He attempted to reload the rifle, but said he fumbled with the magazine and couldn't remember if he was able to reload it or not. At that time that he was taken into custody by police, they entered the home and located Kenny Bent in the location that was described by Shallon Bent and Hoodie. The firearms also that were described by both of the individuals were located at the scene. Moses Hoodie is still in custody of the Nye County Sheriff's Office, being arrested on charges of open murder, attempted murder, and battery with use of a deadly weapon resulting in substantial bodily harm.
In other area news, the Nevada State Fire Marshal responds for a structure fire that extended to a home this morning on Pahrump's south side of town.
We were dispatched around 6:40 this morning for a report of a structure fire. Specifically, the structure was listed to be a fifth-wheel trailer. As crews were responding, we noted a very large, dark-colored smoke column developing in a reported address. And as we arrived on location, we found a well-involved fifth wheel, which was in very close proximity to a primary dwelling. There was also several additional accessory outbuildings as immediate exposures. Crews did an outstanding job. They manned an interior attack line to protect the house. Second line protected the outside buildings, as well as knocking down the main body of fire. There were no injuries today. All occupants were accounted for and were removed. Sheriff's Office deputies just did a great job with us this morning. Not only did they assist in helping remove some of the patients, but moving material, so it gave the fire department great access to get the hand line stretched. In the very early stages of fire, this was a windswept fire. The winds were out of the southwest with a significant sustain. So when the fire developed, the flames went over and broke out several windows on the house, and when it did so, it all extended directly into a room within the house. Well, currently the investigation is underway with the Deputy State Fire Marshals are here, and so no one is in the house right now, as you can see, as evidenced by the tape surrounding it. But at some point, if they can isolate the electrical, it'll be an occupied structure. It was not an occupied space. Currently, the investigation is underway. There is nothing at this point indicating anything other than an accidental fire.
Well, fire crews have been busy lately, and we got an update with Fire Chief Scott Lewis regarding Tuesday night structure fire that was battled during the high winds on Donner Street.
It was located in an area that was devoid of hydrants. Number two is we had sustained winds that were 40+ mile-an-hour and gusts over 60, and that clearly hampered fire suppression efforts. It made it a dangerous scene in many ways. Operating equipment, items blowing around the scenes, making sure not only that our crews were safe within the structure, making sure the occupant was out safely. But I will tell you, given all those conditions, the fire was held to the building of origin. It did not spread to any of the neighboring properties or other buildings. The other thing too is that it had just consumed the roof area. The occupied space at the lower levels, there was a number of items and objects that the occupant can still try and salvage. So overall, given the conditions, the extreme conditions that we had experienced, we went from relatively seasonal temperatures during the course of that firefight to those sustained and those wind gusts, but then by the end we had rain and snow falling on us. It was just a really odd dynamic to be fighting this type of fire. Yes, and there was a report of 3 cats that were still in the structure. 2 of them were removed alive. We have not yet accounted for the 3rd. There were a number of wind-related incidents. We had power lines down, we had a motor vehicle accident, we had a number of medical events that were also unfolding at the same time. And quite frankly, after the structure fire was extinguished and crews were released, they were still busy throughout the rest of the night, which is a testament to their commitment to the community. And as you can see, the wind really hasn't diminished to the point where it's safe for anyone to be operating. As you can see also that this fire is a really good example of how quickly these fires extend. And to remind everyone, please, as soon as you see something that's out of the ordinary, call 911 immediately. Delays in notification or reaction time, we need to try to avoid those to the best of our ability.
And a truck and a passenger vehicle collide this morning at the intersection of Basin Avenue and David Street.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office is investigating a 2-vehicle crash that occurred this morning on Basin and David Streets. All occupants declined to be medically transported at the time of the crash. Traffic was diverted around the scene during the investigation and cleanup. Both vehicles sustained minor damage. Well, much more news, including we are looking for a dog on the south side of town. We're going to tell you about that and more news right after this break.
You're watching News 5, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
All right, we told you right before the break that we are looking for a dog. Her name is Bella, and the reason why this dog we are particularly looking for is because it's one of our crews. This is Eddie O'Brien. You guys know Eddie O'Brien. He is a stringer for us and goes out and takes a lot of the pictures for us as far as getting crashes and fires, and he is a local here in town. And Bella was lost this morning in the area of Homestead and Gamebird, and this happened around noon. So you see pictures of Bella right here. If you see Bella or know anything about her whereabouts, you can give a call, 775-513-8886. We are looking for Bella, and she is described as a light-colored shepherd. She's a female, and she is approximately 2.5 years old. So if you see Bella, 775-513-8886, and we want to get Bella home today. It is very cold out there, so please give Eddie a call, 775-513-8886, if you know where Bella is.
And hopefully Bella will be found. In more local news, major damage sustained today during an accident involving 2 vehicles on the highway.
Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of a 2-vehicle crash that occurred this afternoon on Highway 372 and Red Butte. Traffic was diverted around the scene during the investigation and cleanup. Both vehicles sustained major damage. Nevada Highway Patrol, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, auxiliary units, and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene. All occupants declined to be transported to local medical facilities at the time of the incident. And police say that 2 homeless men got into a fight behind Walmart. They arrested one of them outside his tent.
The Nye County Sheriff's Office are reporting they have arrested an individual by the name of Dana Weston for 1 count of alleged abuse of an older, vulnerable person. On February 21st of this year, deputies were dispatched to the desert area beside the Salvation Army at 240 Dahlia Street in Pahrump in reference to an assault. Upon arrival, the officer observed a male lying on his backside inside a tent. According to the report, the male had blood, which appeared to be dried, and bruising on his face and head. The male stated that he and another male named Dana, who lives in the tent next to his, were outside of their tents the night before, and they were both drinking. During that time, Dana allegedly put the male in a headlock and began to punch him in the face. The male stated he was struck several times and believes at one point he did lose consciousness. The 67-year-old male was transported to Desert View Hospital by medics. Other assisting deputies were able to locate the alleged suspect in front of China Agogo. Dana identified himself as Mr. Dana Weston and denied the allegations. According to the report, during that time, Dana's story changed a few times. The officer did notice that Mr. Weston's hands were swollen and had fresh cuts that were bleeding during the time of the interview. Dana stated that his hands were swollen and cut from items and mesquite trees. Due to the fact that Mr. Weston's story changed multiple times and his hands were consistent with punching somebody, the officer placed Mr. Weston under arrest, and he was transported to the Nye County Detention Center for booking.
Well, snow is coming down right now here on the edge of town in Pahrump, and there are snow-capped houses and structures at the top of Mountain Springs on the way back to Las Vegas. We even got snow a bit in Las Vegas throughout the Southwest and other areas of town. And a winter storm is also sweeping across the rest of the U.S. with heavy snow expected. And as it comes pouring down, it's important to be safe whenever you are outside shoveling snow.
If you're not someone who normally works out, think of it as your first workout. So if you have that mindset before you go out there and pick up the shovel, that you need to ease into things, be careful, listen to your body, and that what you are doing is working out, that can help you be safe when you're shoveling snow.
Dr. Thomas Waters is an emergency medicine physician for Cleveland Clinic. He says they most commonly see back injuries from shoveling snow. To help avoid that, he recommends pushing the snow out of the way instead of trying to lift it. However, if you do have to do any kind of lifting, be sure to use your legs and not your back. Another suggestion is to try and shovel the snow when it's still light, and be careful of ice too. It can be easy to slip and hurt yourself. Dr. Waters says taking regular breaks is also very important. So if you feel yourself struggling, don't push yourself. And people with heart-related issues should not even attempt to shovel.
I certainly would recommend that you do not pick up a snow shovel if you have a heart problem unless you are cleared by your doctor to do so. So that once again, that goes back to snow shoveling is a workout, and you need to be careful when you do it, especially if you're someone who has heart problems.
Health experts also say if you feel sore after shoveling snow, raking leaves, or doing any type of strenuous yard work, be sure to rest if necessary. And you can also take over-the-counter pain relievers. It can also be helpful to use ice or heat, but if the pain persists, you should consult a physician.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, if you cannot decide on whether you should replace your broken computer versus fixing it, Josh Osborne from Great Computer Deals here in Pahrump steers us in the right direction.
Hi, it's Josh with Pahrump's own Great Computer Deals. Let's get right into it. It's time for another quick tutorial. Is it worth fixing my broken computer? Almost every day in our store, customers are met with this dilemma. Do I fix my computer or do I just get another one? Usually this will come down to what is exactly wrong with the machine. If it's simply running slow and needs a tune-up, yeah, that's worth fixing. If your hard drive has gone bad, but your computer is still modern and working otherwise, yeah, that's also worth fixing. If your motherboard is completely blown, now we're getting into a more difficult situation. Parts like motherboards can be a bit pricey, plus you gotta count on the labor costs too. At the end of the day, it comes down to dollars and cents. Feel free to stop by our store for a free quote on a fix versus replacement. Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, this is a weather shot from earlier today at Cottonwood and State Route 160. Snow is coming down in the area right now. We'll take a closer look at our forecast after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios and worldwide on the local BTV app, the app you need on your phone. Get it. Fernley, 34 degrees, 36 degrees out in Fallon. Carson City, I might chill at 30 degrees, and that's actually the Cool Spot Award winners. Tonopah, not much better, 31, and they've got a blizzard warning up there tonight. 33 degrees out in Goldfield. Beatty saw 43. Amargosa didn't even manage 50, 49 degrees, and that's our hot spot. Las Vegas close behind at 46. And out in Death Valley, actually pretty chilly. They had to put on a sweatshirt. 59 degrees. Here in the Paradise of Pahrump, we got 42 degrees and lots of it, baby. Yeah, that's right, 43 just a little bit earlier. Southerly winds to 16 miles per hour. Sure felt wet and weird and cold. Man, they just drove right through my sweatshirt. 47% humidity this morning as the sun rose at 6:21. Setting this evening in about 4 minutes. Look for it at 5:33. Heading down to low night at 34 degrees. It's going to be a show tonight under those partly cloudy skies. Beautiful sunset and winds continuing out of the southeast at 15 miles per hour with 60% humidity. It's quite chilly. And as we head on into the rest of the week, well, it doesn't get much better. Actually, the winds kick up quite a bit tomorrow. We've got wind warnings and sirens going off, 18% chance of rain, but Saturday, boy, we're really going to get wet. 20-mile-per-hour winds driving it sideways. Sunday looks like we get a brief reprieve, although the temperature's down to 47 degrees. And then we get hammered with 3 more days of rain. Woohoo! Won't that be fun? Looking forward to Wednesday and just the deluge with 60% chance of rain, 14-mile-per-hour winds. But look, Thursday it resolves nicely on a sunshiny note. Moderate winds, 48 degrees. We'll survive all this. It'll be all right. But batten the hatches and make your plans. It's going to be a wet weekend. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. Thanks for that weather warning. And we're having some issues with the weather cameras, aren't we?
Yeah, the cameras at the top of Mountain Springs, both of them are down. You know, the best thing that we can tell you is to go to the Road Commuters Report. Nanette Graham with NDOT always posts up there. And she said it is snowing on the mountain right now as of 4:45. And the snow plows are going to be up there. Yes. Of course, them salting the roads up there so that traffic can make sure that they have a smooth ride through the mountain. She says the roads are clear right now. Keep track of that Road Commuters Report, and we are still working to get our own more efficient, easier access cameras up at that mountain with Valley Electric Assemblyman Greg Hafen, Megan Holzer, and the Mountain Springs community, of course, and Nanette Graham, and everybody is coordinating to get a more accessible camera. But we're happy that we have those up there with the Regional Transportation Commission, and of course, we'll keep you posted on what's happening there.
Always.
And go to Road Commuters Report. And if anybody wants to help find Bella, We're going to be down there in that area, Homestead and Game Bird, looking for Bella.
Come home, Bella.
And she is missing right now. 775-513-8886. If you see Bella, she is a shepherd. Darby's down there searching for her right now.
Thank you.
And we are looking for Bella, and she is a beautiful shepherd. And it's Eddie O'Brien's, one of our crews. We're looking for Bella right now. And if you see her, give us a call, 775-513-8886. And we are looking for Bella, who has been missing today.
She'll be found.
All right. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. I'm Deanna.
I'm Unette.
Good night.
Good night.